Did the title catch your attention? Well, that was the point. And in this video, we're going to explain why. But first, it's story time. So we're currently set up here in Rome. As you can see, we're filming just outside the Colosseum. It's a city full of culture and history. And just a couple of nights ago, we were walking down the street that actually leads to the Colosseum. It's full of life and activity. There's artists, there's buskers, and we stopped upon an incredible artist who was playing music on an orange contraption, was making some incredible sounds. However, there wasn't a huge crowd, and we were talking within ourselves and said, if we walk past another night and there's a way to support, we should stop and think about how we can. Last night, we were walking down that same street and we saw him setting up once again. He didn't have a crowd building yet, it was literally just us. So we said to ourselves, hey, just as a bit of a thought experiment, maybe we should park up and see if we can attract a few more people to listen in. So we stayed there. It's very, very hot here in Europe at the moment, 35 to 40 degrees, so we're sweltering under the sun. We stayed there for a minute, then 2 minutes, and then the first person came. They were there holding their camera, they weren't really sure what to do, but they saw us standing there enjoying the vibe, so they started filming for a bit. Then the next person came, they were there just listening to the music. But then another came, and soon not only were people holding their cameras, listening to the music, bouncing along, but people were dropping in coins. And by the end of it, in just 5 to 10 minutes, we saw 30 to 40 people crowded around listening to this person playing music. It was a fascinating thought experiment, but it got me thinking as well. What are the implications and potential takeaways that we could impose onto perhaps the markets, but also our everyday life? And I came back to 3 key takeaways that we can distill down to. First and foremost, no surprises, but herd mentality is a thing. We're all aware of it. We know that humans, we're social beings. We know that we work within social communities. And so as a result of that, even though we're rational beings, emotions, of course, can cloud our decision-making process. And so it's about trying to take that step back and think about things as logically as possible as we can. Of course, it's not always easy. We see it on markets all the times. During the exuberant times where there's hype and enthusiasm, suddenly everything's going higher, there's so much excitement, and there's a fervor rounding up, and we can see that happening. But then when things are down and negative, there's red days, there's fear and uncertainty pervading throughout. It's almost as if that fear can become driving more fear, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy to the south side as well. But that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway, however, is that not only does herd mentality exist, but we look externally for sources of validation and for confirmation. We are social beings, and we see this playing out through all that we do, whether it's sitting on Netflix, looking through the catalogue and seeing what videos have got the best reviews, or maybe it's choosing where to eat, or maybe go travelling next, which hotel should we stay at. We're always looking for confirmation from external sources, but the same thing happens on the markets. And of course, we're always taking in information. The democratization of information is a fantastic thing because we can learn anything and be updated by anything at any time from the comfort of our phones, our laptops, or wherever we are. However, we need to be cognizant of where we're getting our information sources from. Not all information is made equal, and every information source, whether it's this video itself, your friends, your family that you talk to, or pieces of news, everything has an implicit bias. So it's worth being aware of this, and then making sure that the information sources that we have are ones that we can rely on, but also that align with our worldviews. And then the third one, it was quite a fascinating one. It's the fact that yes, of course, we should try to avoid the herd and think on our own 2 feet where we can. But there's opportunities to lead the herd as well. This thought experiment was just a quick little way to conceptualize and illustrate what we came up with. But of course, through our day-to-day, whether it's talking to our friends, thinking about our community groups or the social networks around us, we can feed into these positively as well and leverage the power of community, of like-minded individuals to unite together around a movement or a thought or a concept that can really breed positivity throughout as well. And so ultimately, we need to filter out the noise from the markets. We need to be able to step out and separate ourselves from the herd mentality and the groupthink. Of course, there's always going to be XYZ sounds like the next great opportunity, or oh no, things are imploding and everything's about to fall apart. However, the reality is that nobody knows with any certainty where things exactly will head from here. Everybody's forecasts are simply a function and based on their own assumptions and their own worldview. We all have the same sets of data, and it's up to our own interpretation. And so we need to be spending our time doing our own research, our own analysis, and ultimately developing our own convictions. And so we shouldn't be making our decisions following anyone else's decisions or thought process. Yes, listening to a wide range of sources and getting information from many individuals is prudent, and it's a great way to learn rapidly, to learn from others' mistakes as well as their insights. But we need to be making our own decisions based on our own 2 feet and from our own researches and convictions. It's a fascinating concept. I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop in a comment below. We've just dropped the second channel as well for investors. So make sure you've subscribed and turn your bell notifications on for plenty of videos and updates. Hit the like button. Let us know your thoughts on this new style of video. A big thank you for joining us. For now, stay well and happy investing.